Number 6 says find the value of x. Assume that lines that appear to be tangent are truly tangent. All right, so this has to do with circle or segments of circles. So there's typically an entire unit dealing with this particular aspect. And these segments can originate outside the circle. They can be totally inside the circle, like two chords crossing. There are a lot of options here. And I'm going to make available, I have a 2-page circle rules sheet that is, I mean, I've used it over the years. Students are like, hey, I want a copy of this. It's a nice 2-page, it's a reference sheet, called a cheat sheet, whatever, but it helps you understand what rules to use given what circumstances you're given in the problem. So we'll start off with this particular problem here. We have a tangent line and we have what's called a secant line. And we're going to, there's a basic formula for it that we'll use, though I picked this particular problem because the setup part is kind of tricky for some students, and there's a common mistake I see, so I'll go ahead and dive in here. So the formula is, we just take the tangent line, I'll just call it t squared, and we square it, right? So ultimately we'll take 10 squared, and on the right-hand side, or the other side, would be the outside segment, I'll just abbreviate seg for segment, times the whole segment, okay? The whole segment. All right, so we're going to take t squared, tangent line squared, that's easy enough, 10 squared. And then we'll take 5. So that would be the outside part. So that's here to here, right? That's from the vertex of the angle all the way to the outside or the edge of that circle. So we have 5. Easy enough. Okay. And then people tend to take 5 times x, but it's actually 5 plus x. We're taking the whole segment. The entire segment is 5 plus x, or we can say x plus 5. But again, I tend to see, I don't know why, people just, they just perform the wrong operation. They take 5 and then 5 times x. And you would get, you should get a completely different answer here, most likely, probably, hopefully. But yeah, we can look at that here momentarily. But going back to the left-hand side of the screen, we have 100, 5x plus 25. Yes, and then I'll just subtract 25 from both sides. I get 75 equals 5x. And when we divide both sides by 5, we should get an x value of 15. Okay, and I think if we carried out the math here, we might get something, we'd get something legitimate, but clearly not. Yeah, we would get 4. Yeah, and again, x does not equal 4. We cannot use this method. We have to make sure and take the outside times the whole, outside times the whole, and the whole distance is x plus 5. So ultimately we get x equals 15 for this answer, and I believe that's all we needed. Yeah, just find the value of x here. So thanks again for watching.